Max, why don't we start with you? After the race on Sunday in Mexico, you said your main concern was the pace of the car. Have you and the engineers discovered anything this week that can help you here at Interlagos?
Yeah, I think, overall, I think the pace over the weekend, plus missing, of course, most of Friday didn't help. Mexico is quite sensitive also to the tire behavior. So I hope that, we understood a little bit more from that, what we can do, to be more competitive, basically, on all tires.
Do you think, though, you're going to be more competitive over one lap in qualifying than you are the race again? Is that your expectation?
Well, this has been a little bit the case for most of the season lately. It's a bit difficult to explain why that is. I don't think it's just entirely up to us, but we'll see. I mean, we'll try to be as competitive as we can be, and every track is a bit different. Also here, new tarmac, so again, there's a few question marks.
What about the wheel-to-wheel racing this weekend? A lot has been said, a lot has been written since Mexico. Are you going to change the way you go racing this weekend?
Yeah, I've heard that before, right, in my career. So it's my 10th year in Formula One. I think I know what I'm doing.
Okay, look, final one from me. Can you just clarify the situation with your power unit? Are you going to be taking a penalty this weekend?
I haven't heard anything yet. It's not discussed, but I know that I will have to take one at some point. So we'll see.
All right, Max, thank you. I'm sure there'll be more questions for you in a minute. Oscar, coming to you now. Great recovery drive by you in Mexico last weekend. Were you happier with the car there than you were in Austin?
Quite a lot happier. I think Austin, we had a car that was quick but very, very difficult to drive. And I think in qualifying especially was tough to get the most out of it. In the race, just going a bit slower with the lap times, it's maybe a little bit easier to get the pace out of it. But I was much happier in Mexico, which obviously the results don't reflect. But felt much more comfortable, and it kind of made qualifying even more of a shame, really. But I would rather, in some ways, have a weekend like Mexico where I'm comfortable at least, and knowing that I made a mistake, rather than a bit more in Austin where just struggling to get the most out of the car.
And what was Lando saying about the new floor?
Good question. I don't know. Not much, obviously. It's doing what it's supposed to do from what I've heard and what I've seen, which is always a good thing. But it's not transformed the car, I would say. So hopefully it's just a little improvement.
And what's the feeling inside McLaren at the minute about the Constructors' Championship? Ferrari are on a charge. I mean, a couple of races ago, you guys looked very steady out the front. Everyone a bit more nervous now? Do you sense it?
I would say no. I think, we always knew that Ferrari were going to be a threat. And I think, since Monza, basically, I think they've had a very, very quick car. Just some of the weekends, the results haven't shown it. So for us, it's not been a huge surprise that they've been as quick as they've been in the last few weekends, especially. So we'll see if that run continues, but we knew to expect a fight, definitely. So, it's going to be an exciting end to the year in both championships, I think.
All right, Oscar, thank you very much. More questions for you in a minute, I'm sure. Yuki, let's go to you now. Now, it's been a very frustrating run of races for you recently. Do you feel you need a change of luck?
I think, it's just a part of the career, and had a good moments, and obviously it's always bad moments. It's been not helpful from that perspective. I try to minimize the distraction, and try to focus to the racing, and hope that I get luck from that. But so far it's not the races I'm having, but every race is a new race week. Not thinking anything about the previous race weeks. Just having sprint qualifying race, and we just focus now beating Haas.
Well, let's look at the positives. What are the strengths of your racing car at the moment relative to Haas, do you think?
Well, definitely, for example, previous race week Mexico, we're definitely performing better than probably other tracks, and yeah, definitely has also picked it up pace in the qualifying. So I don't know is better or worse, but at least we were similar, and yeah, it's the race week that probably I shouldn't miss the opportunity, and there was qualifying that I didn't go well and didn't really maximize the opportunity. So definitely it's not me, and yeah, those things probably the package was there, but just I didn't really maximize it. So I think in terms of car, Mexico was at least similar. Others, I know it's maybe we're a little bit behind because I think they are fast in probably every track so far. So, but yeah, we're gonna hopefully develop much better in the coming races, and yeah, hopefully we can be at least in similar level as them.
All right, look, final one from me. There's a lot of speculation surrounding Sergio Perez's future in Formula One. Christian Horner even said after the race on Sunday, there comes a time when difficult decisions need to be made. If asked, do you feel ready to go alongside Max in the same car?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, it's always the driver you wanna drive with. He's the best driver so far, and he has a lot of skills, and definitely would like to learn a lot of things. But also, I will just finish as a learning, and see how it goes. But I just focus now what I have to do, and so far just not really able to achieving what I want to do. So see how it goes.
All right, thanks to all three. Let's open this to the floor. Broadcasters first, please.
Roland Rodriguez from DAZN Spain. A question to Max. Max, 10 years in Formula One and battling for the fourth title. Is this a battle with Lando Norris more motivating or less than the battle with Lewis Hamilton in 2021?
I mean, I think every battle is good, I don't know. I don't think any is more motivating or whatever. You just try to do the best you can every single time that you go out there, really.
Okay, Mara.
Mara from Sky Sport Italy. A question to Max. You just said that you know what you are doing, but FIA, with the support of the driver, is trying to change some driving guidelines. Don't you feel sometimes a bit alone against everyone and everything, Max?
No, I don't feel alone at all. I have good friends and family, so I'm good.
And on track?
I don't feel alone at all. Also, a lot of good people.
Okay, David.
Sorry, Max. David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Another question to you. When it comes to racing and racing hard and aggression on the track, is that what you as a champion have to do to defend your championship? Is aggression part and parcel of this sport? And your tactics on track, are they justified even when the stewards say you've gone over the rules a little bit? Or against the rules a little bit?
I think it's just you win some, you lose some. That's how it is in racing in general. And I like to win. I don't like to lose. I think not many people like to lose. And I think, I always just try to maximize the result. And like I said, some you win, some you lose.
Okay. Yeah,
Diego Mejia, Fox Sports Mexico. Question to Max. You had these issues in free practice in Mexico. You didn't have a long run. In retrospective, from what you learned, how much of the lack of pace in the race was due to that, or it was simply that the car didn't have it?
Well, I think in general, we probably lack a little bit of pace, but for sure, it could have been a lot better. But unfortunately, we didn't get to really understand that in the long run. So it's always very painful, and especially when it's a very tight battle with some teams and you're a bit on the back foot, you need to really maximize everything that you can, and we couldn't do that in Mexico.
Hello, Margot Lafitte for Canal Plus for a question for Oscar. What is your belief in the fact that Lando can catch Max because you're driving the leading car?
I mean, I think it's possible. It's certainly not an easy task, and in some ways, it's it's up to both drivers. What happens, obviously, it's, Lando can't just win every race and, have Max finish second, because Max will still win. So it depends a bit on the results. It's obviously a very tight fight with, the top three teams and Mercedes occasionally now still. So the swing either way can still be quite big at the moment, I would say. So I think it's possible. It's going to be tough, but I think it's doable.
Albert Fabri, ESPN Latam. Question for Max. The Ferraris were so competitive last two races. Do you think that having them fighting for the win every single weekend to the end of the season would help you on the battle for the championship, or you prefer to stay 1-1 to McLaren and Lando?
I mean, naturally, I would prefer to win by 30 seconds, but that's not possible at the moment. But it's like Oscar said, it can be positive or negative for you when there are more teams fighting. So sometimes, the point swing can be bigger, but I think for the sport, of course, in general, it's